Welcome into another episode of Who Should You Choose? The video series where I go through the prior videos, questions, and comments and help you with your HUT lineup decisions. Remember, you want to be subscribed with notifications on for your best chance to get your question answered in the next episode as well. Go through the comments, see if there's a question from somebody else that you like. The most liked questions I go through first, and then I go through reverse order, whoever commented earlier on. So let's get into today's questions. We'll start with studs. All right, Ace Sleeves. So will the cover athlete set stick around after the fantasy event comes out? Much love. Thanks for all the help this year. I reached out to the content team to see what the deal is on that, and no response. But it is, Thanksgiving, so obviously at a holiday you're not going to see a response. Not that I really expect one, anyways. That being said, if there is ever a timer on a set, usually indicates that that there just won't be they'll be gone, which is frustrating because I like that you were able to go back and make any of the sets from before. Does Thunderclap activate on a 1T? I legitimately went and tested this on stream for anyone that's watching on stream. Hello, but I wanted to see because there are overlapping X factors that don't activate when a player has both. 1T looks to activate on, Thunderclap looks to activate on one-timers from the point, but it'll only activate from the top of the face-off down to the blue line. So if they're in the offensive zone and like that, it will not activate. So it's not as good as 1T in that sense because 1T will activate anywhere. But it is a pretty good alternative. I don't think it's not better than 1T because Thunderclap slap shots just don't go in very cleanly a lot. They do, but not as much as one-timer is obviously in NHL 25. Cover Stamkos or cover Matthews. I don't want base Stamkos or base Matthews. Okay, if that's the case. I tried out Matthews. I have not tried out Stamkos. I'm going to go on community feedback here. Stamkos, from what I've seen, looks to be better than Matthews. Matthews, I think, Make It Snappy does not appear to be as effective as last year. Maybe it will as the year goes along, but with the emphasis of one-timers, it just isn't. One's right-handed, one's left-handed, so there's some lineup flexibility there if you don't want to play them at center. I think there's less righties than there is lefties in terms of the good ones. Cover Matthews was fine, but not worth $300K. Bonjour Slaves, best YouTube channel. Keep it up, man. Appreciate that. Just wanted to know if I have the 6 collectibles to do the cover athlete set, but now with the 4 new cards that just pulled, I don't know which one I should do. Also, I'm free to play player standard edition this year, so I have no 85s yet. Thank you, brother. If you don't have any 85s, guys, the only must make, I will do a rankings video for the cover athlete sets. I apologize. I've been very sick. It will be up today after this recording. But in my opinion, I think the only must make from this event is Cale Makar. The other ones after that, there are a few that I would rank as like very good. So Stammer and Matthews would be one. And then there would be a few that are strictly theme teams, in my opinion, like Brodeur and honestly, from my own experience as well as other people's, Lindros. So that'll be out shortly. So I have Cover Makar and Forsberg. Who should my third be, or should I save the 82s for another event? Go Sens go. Icon Alfie deserves your love. Man, I just said that he wasn't as good as some of the other ones. Not that he wasn't good. Anyways, that being said, you have Cover Makar and Forsberg. I don't really see a need where you'd have to go and make a third. I guess the third would be Stamkos, but if you wanted to save your 82s for a future event, I don't think that's a bad idea either. Hey, Slaves, thanks again. Thanks for all the NHL 25 content as well as Coffee and Shell. Keep the great work. You've become my voice of my daily commute between Toronto and Brampton. I just wondering which abilities to use. Cover Athlete, Makar, Elite Edges, or Daily Hat Trick, Robin Leonard, No Timer. No Timer, everyone thought would be like the go-to for stopping DDD one-timers. It's not the case. Definitely Elite Edges. Elite Edges is one of the best year-round abilities now, just the way that it works, especially in NHL 24 and 25, because it's so hard to knock people off the puck. Being able to keep your speed and go left and right and all that is far more impactful. I currently have Cover Athlete Matthews, 2 AP gold, Make It Snappy. Leonard, 2 goal AP, No Timer. McCabe Icons, 1 AP for Silver 1T, and Jack Hughes, Cover Athlete Edges. I don't know if you need to have, definitely not gold one-timer, and I don't know if you need to have Make It Snappy on Matthews. What pack do I get to open What pack do I open to get base McDavid? Because I'm seeing a bunch of people use him. I played 5 Rivals games, 4 to 5 games. They have base McDavid. Base McDavid is the best achievable card that you can get right now. So what I mean by that is that no one has anything they want to spend their coins on. And when you start realizing that you can't get any of the chase cards, or you don't want to waste all your coins on fodder to make one of the chase cards, McDavid is kind of the holy grail right now as base card. That's why it's gone up even higher. I think I saw it at like 270 now. So he is probably going to hold his value very long. But in terms of a pack to open, I would not recommend opening up any packs in the store because none of them are worth it. But if, like, I guess the one that would give you the best shot was that, like, $100 pack. But please, for the love of God, don't open that. I would just buy them with coins eventually. Hey, Slaves, I autofilled my lineup on Monday, and I lost Forsberg. Thought it was a glitch. I autofilled my lineup today, and I lost Darcy Kemper right after I opened him. Do you have any idea what's going on? You lost him from your collection, or in a set, or your lineup? If it's your lineup, go through like your fourth line and then try and sub them in. Sometimes the autofill just does some weird things. Small comment, but I absolutely hate that no matter the difficulty, my goalie is horrible and the CPU goalie is 2015 carried price. It's so frustrating. Put up 30 shots on semi-pro and maybe scoring 4 goals and the CPU scoring on 1 shot. Yeah, the CPU is kind of annoying like that. The real issue and the reason why I wanted to highlight this, I've said this a number of times, but there was a change last year where no matter what mode you were playing on, rookie, semi-pro, pro, all-star, superstar, no matter what difficulty you're playing on, the goalie will always be on all-star. The thought process there from the dev team was if you can learn to score on rookie against an all-star goalie, or all-star rated goalie, then you could score online. And the difficulty just gets higher, which I think is ridiculous because it is so hard to play this game already when you're a brand new player. Putting them up against a goalie like that is ridiculous. So, in my opinion, if you're having a hard time scoring, just spam D2D one-timers. Hey, Slaves, I have an 84 Nathan McKinnon. I was wondering if he is worth the sell because I don't do too well with him, and he is at a high coin profit right now. I also bought him for cheap during early access. So I'd make a profit in that way too. Also, do you think he has a chance to rise in price over the next few weeks to make it worth keeping for now? So again, I've talked about this a lot over the last little while that when it comes to the market, I have no idea. It's very difficult, especially this year because all of our prior understanding of how the market works is now completely out the window. But the one thing that is a constant is that no matter what, base cards will fall in price eventually over the course of the year because they are always in the pack pool. So cards like Team of the Week Fantilli. Okay, this is the example I use. When Team of the Week Fantilli is out of packs because he won't be in there when the new Team of the Wallet is out, then his price has a chance to go up a little bit because if he stays high overall in terms of ratings and they're really slow at progressing, which it looks like they are, then people are going to want to try him out maybe, and there's less being pulled, so there's less supply. Okay. When it comes to base cards, when everyone throughout the year, when every time gets a pack, whether it's from Hut Champs, which is everyone's waiting for, or a new event, and everyone starts ripping packs, base cards will fall in price. It won't be as drastic ever as what it was in the years past because we just don't get packs with a ton of like 80 and above player items. Like there's no ultimate pack, it seems, where that was 20 80 and above player items. There isn't a lot of those. So I think that you're safe. I don't know how much higher they can go. I think that when Hut Champs rewards come out next Wednesday, I could see a small drop then, but there's still no guarantee because we don't know how Hut Champs rewards are going to work. If you are not doing well, Nathan McKinnon, I would sell him. Yeah, I think that people get too locked in and be like, oh, this is the best card, but he's not working for you. Try someone new. If McKinnon's not working well for you, try someone like Ovi. Because if he's not working well for you and he's like the fastest card, then it might be, that you need like bigger players to be good. They need to make wildcard games count towards these play to win games objectives. I agree. I think the thing is though that everyone would just go into, although it's winning games, so you'd still try. It's because everyone would just spam wildcard because it's only 1 3-minute period. You can get it done very fast. Hey, Slaves, if I already have Makar's base card, is it worth it to sell him and buy the cover athlete? Ooh. For whatever reason, I can't remember off the top of my head. If Makar... actually... Yes, I would sell him and get the MSP. Yeah, I would. Hey, Sleeves, my question is normally I play squad battles in my free time. I play Rivals and I 105 my placement games. And now when I play Wildcard, it feels like everyone is a god. Like if I play Rivals and just lose, will that fix this issue? We don't know, but there is clearly skill-based matchmaking Wildcard. You could try it, but Wildcard has been a mess with that. Would you trade in pre-order Hughes for the Forsberg MSP? I'd rather save the 79s for fantasy. Oh no, dude. No. Hughes is a fantastic card. Um, if you're dead set on saving everything for fantasy, I mean, if you had like you could, there's ways to get free 82s, assuming you haven't used them already. Greetings from Finland. Bonjour. I'm tempted to try out different players because I have decent amount of coins, but I'm afraid of the drop in price. Is there a high risk for that? For example, Rantanen suddenly drops and I lose a lot of coins when selling him. How much does, for example, new content influence the prices? Love your content. Keep it the great work. This is something the community will have to get used to, and I'm a perfect example of that because I had that fear too. And if you ever play Escape from Tarkov, it's called gear fear. It's when you have a lot of stuff and you're just scared to lose it, right? So you end up playing the game extremely cautiously, and then you end up not playing the game at all. This year, the drop in price will not happen nearly as drastically as it's ever happened before. That 85 Rantanen would probably fall in price about 100,000 coins in 2 weeks. I don't think that's going to happen. Now, the game breaker sets are interesting, though, because the more and more people do the 80 and above sets, free-to-play players can get shots at them. Very few will pull a Rantanen because there's more and more cards out of the pool. It's very hard to pull an 85 of an 80 and above guaranteed set, but it's still in the pool. So you have to keep that in mind. They have a chance at falling a little bit, but not drastically, especially because there's already been a second Game Breaker release, and we haven't seen a huge reduction in price there. They have done a pretty strict job on raising overalls. I don't see 86s coming out for a little while. Maybe the third event of the year. I don't know. So I would try your favorite cards out. Here's what I would recommend. If you're going to sit down and play 5 to 10 games in a session, okay, of Rivals, buy the card and try them out. What I wouldn't recommend doing is buying them at night, playing a game, and then you know that you can't play for another 2 days. Then, there could be a drop. But in all honesty, and we will not see a big drop until Friday for the fantasy event, and then next Wednesday when everyone gets their first Hut Champs rewards. We won't see a drop of any kind. Probably things will keep going up in price. Slaves, just wanted to say I've been watching your channel for a while. And it feels like forever now, and I always enjoy the content you create, even when you're sick as hell. You still give us the content we need for, and I'm forever grateful. But don't forget to take a day off in a while you need to. For everyone that's wondering, I have been battling a massive flu that I actually went to the hospital the other night. Something wrong with my chest, but yesterday I didn't do anything. I stayed in bed. And I feel much better today. So thank you. There was nothing wrong, at least that I know of. My question for you today is, would you recommend building the 85 overall Adam Fantilli through the sets, or would you recommend buying up the auction house between 270 to 350? If you really want to try them, buy them. I would not recommend trying to make those sets. How you want to use Team of the Week collectibles, so far from my understanding after seeing the first launch of them, is to get the free 9 collectibles and then sit on them. Eventually, you'll keep earning collectibles via moments and things like that for every Team of the Wallet that comes out. Then you can have enough where you're like, oh, that one I want to get, right? That's what I would do. Like, for example, there might be a Team of the Week McDavid that comes out, and you're like, oh, and then you go in, right? Because even though it's McDavid, it shouldn't change in value from EA's algorithm, because EA doesn't take the card or the player into account. It takes just the overall value. So an 85 overall McDavid is 10 times more valuable than an 85 Fantilli, but the EA's economy background thing where they create the sets doesn't value that the same. They value that exactly the same, sorry. Hey, Slaves, thank you for the deluge of content for this year's launch 25. It's made navigating the sea change in HUD a lot easier. Also, thank you for all the content last year to help me build the 99 overall team in my first year of playing HUD with no money spent. Love to hear that, buddy. Since I previously was a January Hut player in previous years, I had never experienced the fantasy event before and didn't really have a full grasp on how to build towards power up icons or team builders early on, so I traded in a lot of cards I could have otherwise used for fantasy collectibles. I don't want to make that mistake this year, as I'm a pre-order Hut player this year. My question is whether any cover athlete is worth 682 overall cover athlete trade-in, or should I continue to hold on to my fantasy hold on for the fantasy event. For context, I chose Makar and Jack Hughes for my pre-order. Okay, this is what's interesting, guys. Follow me here. Here is a scenario that no one is thinking about when it comes to this. An 82 overall cover athlete card is going for, I believe, 35,000 coins because it is tied to the value of making a cover athlete MSP. The cover athlete MSPs are timed, meaning that you only have until Friday to make the cover athlete set. So it is not looking like it's working like last year, where you could retroactively go back and make a card once the event is done. It looks like EA is working on if you want to take advantage of an event, you've got to do it now. Sorry, and I believe I'm recording this live on stream. It's 55,000 coins for an 82 overall cover athlete set, which is insane. That said, here is my fear of a lot of people that have this idea. What if the fantasy event does not require 82 and above player items? It only requires 81s. And since those are going for 10 to 15,000 coins, I believe, and you can't retroactively go back and use those 82s for Makar, who, in my opinion, I think is the must make, and you should, if you can make one free, regardless of saving for fantasy, I would make Makar. He's the only one I would do, though, by the way. What if then those 82s then become the same value as 81s? Do you see what I'm saying? So they're 55,000 coins right now because they work towards the MSP that is out. If the MSPs are no longer able to be made once this event ends and the fantasy event comes out and it does not require 82 and above player items, and the 81s only go up in price to, let's say, 25,000 coins. You've lost 25,000 coins in value on those specific 82s because you could have made an MSP. That is what I think is going to happen. I could be wrong, and 82s could be used in the fantasy event, and you could make out like gangbusters. But I have a feeling that they are aware of that and what everyone is going to do. And that is the way that they can suck the most money and stuff out of you, by ruining everyone that saved the 82s from the prior event for that. That is what I fully expect them to do. And I could be way wrong. And for everyone that saved the 82 cover athletes, you could be in great shape. But if you're not, then you just lost out on creating a free MSP, and that sucks, right? This is the risk we run, and the risk that no one has any idea how these events are going to work. So I just want to put, I would make Makar. Should I show this? For context, I chose Makar and Jack Hughes my pre-order. I don't know, man. I really don't want to be wrong. I don't want to be wrong. And I really think that that's a situation where you're either the event required 79 and above player items. Okay? If we think back logically to the prior years of EA last year of the same content team, overalls from an event went up +1 every month. But let's say it goes up again. Then it's 80 and above player items are used. As well as smaller fantasy cards, maybe they make lower rated fantasy items that I don't know. I don't know what it would be. But there's a reason why there's 82 overall cover athletes, and it requires 82 overall cover athletes and not 82 overalls. That seems like a fundamental mode change. I just have a big feeling that you're going to lose so much value by not trading in your free 82s for an MSP from this event than holding them for fantasy. But I could be way wrong. And if your main focus is fantasy, save it. Just save it, because even if you're wrong, at least you were prepared, All right, just a heads up for people that want to grind out any of the player-based objectives, like the X Factor power-up icon goal objectives. Those track-in moments and the final tutorial moment where you need to score 2 goals is a long game on rookie with no line changes. So if any of the new objectives or events come out that require a certain number of goals, assists, hits by a card type, and you want to grind it out quickly, that's a good way to do it. That is a nasty tip that I love the community now knows. So what he is saying is that because when you go to squad battles, you have to your line will run out of energy. In moments, there shouldn't be any changes. There's no line changes, and it's on rookie. So you could go to that final tutorial moment, load up your squad with whatever card types that you need to use, get your hits, goals, objectives, all that done, and that's a very, very good way to do it. So thank you, Go Meet 27. I packed untradeable McKinnon, sell or use, free to play. I'm assuming you mean a tradable McKinnon, sell or use, free to play and bad player. I have 400,000 coins. Currently haven't bought anything. If your team is bad, like I'm talking, like you have 82s throughout your whole lineup, and you didn't pre-order the game, like with the deluxe edition, then I would probably sell McKinnon. But honestly, he's like one of the best right-handed wingers in the game, and he's probably not going to get out. McDavid's set needs to stay all year. It'll take that long to afford him. Confirmed by EA, the Supercharged X Factor and Power Up hologram sets, those are staying the whole year. So even when a new set for the X Factor McDavid comes out, or the whatever the next one is, like if it's Matthews or whatever for the next Supercharge, McDavid's staying. Hey, Sleeves, not sure if you noticed, but the XP blue cards will refund all the tokens. Yeah, I was wrong on that. I was just giving the... It was so early on in the launch, I didn't want to say, hey, it's going to be, and be wrong. But yeah, so you could upgrade Kemper all the way to 85. Not like him, refund everything, and go and get Drysdale. Awesome that they did that, by the way. So you can try out all of them. Eichel on Saturday is crazy. I'm hoping for level 20 by Thanksgiving Monday. Yeah, my man Ratsy, if you saw on Reddit or around social media and whatnot, my man Ratsy in my community, he is the one that got Eichel. God help him. But he got Eichel, and he's grinding the bonus packs right now, and he's going to send me a clip of what happened in the bonus packs. The hero we need, not the one we deserve. So we'll see what's in those bonus packs very, very soon. Rivals should get anywhere between 100 to 250 more XP than they do in squad battles. As an offline player myself, I appreciate we get more XP. I think it's absolutely hilarious, but I feel like it's fair. Online is more of a struggle, I'd say, especially if you face someone like Eki Poltz, etc. They deserve more XP for winning games. It's always going to be the battle. I think it's more of a time thing. So I believe Rivals is 3-minute periods. Or is that only burst? I agree with you. Rivals... maybe not to the level that Wildcard is, because Wild's almost double. But yeah, online is a far harder experience than offline. It just is. Not to mention, you have to play it in one go. Like squad battles, you can pause. Like that's such a huge advantage. Do I need to use my team of the week collectibles on this week's set, or can I save them for future weeks? I'm building a theme team and none of the current players will fit. No, like I mentioned, save them all and wait for a player you want. I also love you said in previous episode the worst choices were Weber and Sergey. I picked them both. I have enough centers. I usually don't take goalies. Yes, Weber is slow. He's one of my team leaders in points along with Sergey. I mean, any defenseman that you put on your top pair is going to have the most amount of points. But yeah, like I think that what's crazy this year is that like 82 speed, like Pronger seems kind of quick. I just think that how progression works, if you're choosing between cards that go the whole year, like Weber specifically, not Sergachev, that go the whole year. Because I think Sergachev, there's a debate that like he's much closer than Weber. But Weber, like in January, his speed might be 83 or 84. And I would hazard a guess that is very low. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe speed doesn't go up at all. I mean, I don't know. You know, I'm glad you went with your choices though, right? Like again, what works for me is not always going to work for you. I wish out-of-position players would get a reduction. Another MLB Diamond Dynasty reference I've heard from you. It's amazing just how ahead and much better the show does their Ultimate Team compared to everyone else. And Diamond Dynasty has actually been down the last 2 years, yet is still the model. Yeah, Diamond Dynasty is definitely the best Ultimate Team mode, but it has had its struggle over the last couple of years. What he's talking about is that, like, would you ever want to see chemistry come back where it's like you play left-handed wingers on the right side? Like we always flip-flop our wingers, right? We play them out of position. We play guys that normally are right wingers in the NHL on the left side, all for one-timers. And I don't know if I want a reduction. It's just like that always kind of bothered me a little bit because it's not real hockey. But it also is called Ultimate Team. You know, it is the way that you want your team to play, right? So, I'm cool with what they did way back in like NHL 20 when they made it so that defensemen could not be forwards and vice versa. I actually love that because it was silly. You would never play a defenseman on defense because forwards were just way better statted out. What's the point of these B&D 80 overalls? They aren't usable, too slow, can't be sold, and can't be used in sets. Just wasted my time holding the puck for 5 minutes to get coins and a worthless card. I would rather get a pack and have a 1% chance of getting something usable. You got to understand that just because he's not usable for you, he's not unusable for everyone else. I think the B&D cards, they should never give away B&D cards from moments, in my opinion, or objectives. It should be on trade-ins only. Like, the good part about B&D cards is the McDavid set. In prior years, we trade all 4 of those in, and we lose the 4 captains, and we get McDavid. Now you at least get 2 back because of B&D, right? Account bound. However, I don't like... It should just be untradeable on all of those other ones. I have 1.1 million coins. Should I save them and try to buy fantasy cards or buy a ton of 80s for fantasy for set fodder? I know the fantasy event this year is kind of unknown as far as how it'll work, but what's your gut feeling? What would you do if you had 1.1 million coins? I can't tell you what you do with your coins because the market will get ripped after this video, but this blank statement here for fantasy. If there's ever a time where the lower overall is going for the same price as the higher overall, buy the higher overall. So what I mean by that is if you see 79s going for 10,000 coins and 80s are also going for 10,000 coins, buy 80 overalls. At some point, 80s will be required in sets, and then you will make a ton of coins. There's no guarantee of when that's going to happen. You could hold your coins for a month and never know. And then you get annoyed and frustrated at people like me, be like, you should have bought all that, which is why I don't tell you to do that. But that is the model you would follow. So like if 84s are the same price as 82s because they're not required in sets, you want to buy 84s, eventually you will make a ton of money, but it might not be for 2 months. So that's what, like, I have no idea how the fantasy event's going to work, guys. I pray that they don't mess with it. My honest guess is that it's 79s. It's not even 80s. It's the exact same as how you make cover athlete cards. Just way more expensive. Something to help with catching, and the show does this periodically, is a double XP event. This might encourage more play over time for the casual player like myself can keep up and acquire the Jack Eichel cards towards the end. With the weekly objective paths being all year, like all season long, where like those weekly objective paths, they're 45K each, so you can earn them, but they don't disappear. That's kind of like double XP, but yeah, double XP weekend 100% would be sick. I think they should definitely do that. That would be awesome. All right, last one. What superstar captain would you pick first? Honestly, with how good defensemen are, they're probably your top scorer. Like Fox is fine. Me personally, I think I'm choosing Heiskanen just because I like his size, skating, ability, as well as defensive awareness. It's just hard to find all of that in a defenseman card early on. But Kucherov and Nylander are both great too. So look at your lineup. If you really don't have a good right-handed winger, I would probably go Nylander. If you don't have a lot of left-handed wingers and you already have McDavid, like maybe it's Kucherov, right? Like they're very close. So that's what I'd recommend. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Who Should You Choose. Make sure to subscribe with notifications on to get your question answered in the next episode. Also want to thank everyone for 65,000 subs on YouTube. I'm grinding that 100. It's going to take me a few more years, but I appreciate everyone that has subscribed throughout already. Thank you guys again. I'll see you next time.